Hi, welcome back to Reading with Miss Jessica. Today, to get your materials ready, I need you to get your book out. And of course, something to write with, pen, pencil, crayon, marker, color pencil, highlighter, whatever. And then you're going to need your blue mat and your blue letters today. So go ahead and get all of these out. And then I just want you to sit them to the side like we have been so that they don't get in the way until we need them. And of course, I'll tell you when it's time to grab them, okay? I'll give you about a minute to get those. Okay, the story that we get to read today is a story about some immigrants and a bandit. Does anybody know what an immigrant is first? An immigrant is somebody who comes from another country. So anybody who moves to the United States from another country is an immigrant. If somebody from the United States moves to a different country, guess what? We're an immigrant in that country. So if I decided to move to China, I would be an immigrant in China. Okay? So an immigrant is anybody that didn't live here and decided to move here to another country or from another country. Does anybody know what a bandit is? A robber. It's somebody who robs people or places or things. So our story today is about some immigrants in California and a bandit. So we will get to read about that in just a little bit, as long as we get through our lesson, okay? So it's been a while since we've worked on rhyming words. It's been a few days. So we're going to work on some rhyming words today. I'm going to say 2 words. You're going to repeat those words, and then you're going to give me a thumbs up if they rhyme or a thumbs down if they don't. Now, since it's been a few days, I want to go over what a rhyming word is. And if you remember, I want you to say it and do the motions with me. Are you ready? Okay. A rhyming word is different at the beginning and the same all the way through. All right. Do you remember that? Yeah. So let's do that all together because I want to make sure it's up there in your brain. A rhyming word is different sound at the beginning and the same sound all the way through. And remember, rhyming words are just sounds. It has nothing to do with the spelling. Okay? So one more time all together, loud and proud. Rhyming words are different sound at the beginning and the same sound the rest of the way through. Great job. Okay, are you ready for your first set of words to tell me whether or not they rhyme? I think you might be. Okay, number 1 is let and have. Repeat those. Let and have. Do they rhyme? Do they not rhyme? They do not rhyme. Great job. Ready for your next one? Dog and cat. Dog and cat. Great job. They don't rhyme either. Okay, let's look at flower and rot. Flower and rot. Repeat them. They do not rhyme. Great. Okay, are you ready for the next one? Long and wrong. Long and wrong. They do rhyme. Did anybody hear that ng at the end of those words that we've been practicing? That ng, the digraph ng, ng. That is at the end of both of those words. Okay, let's do one more. Actually, we might do a couple more. box and big. Box and big. Repeat. Great, they do not rhyme. All right, let's do roast and toast. Roast and toast. Let me hear you say them. They do rhyme. Great. Okay, one more. Are you ready for it? I don't know if you can get this one. Let me see. Lamp and stamp. Lamp and stamp. Repeat it. Great, they do rhyme. You guys are so smart. I cannot believe how much you are learning and remembering. It's great. Okay, so now we're going to do another activity. This one's a little harder, but I think you guys can do it, okay? This time I'm going to give you 3 words. And when I give you those 3 words, you are going to repeat them like we have been doing. And then I want you to think about which word does not rhyme, okay? So 2 of the words will rhyme and 1 of them will not. So let's do an example. Let's do bat, sat, and big. Repeat. Bat, sat, big. Which one of those does not rhyme? Bat, sat, big. Bat, sat, big. Big does not rhyme. Great job. Okay, so are you ready for some challenges here? We're only going to do like 3, maybe 4 of these, okay? All right, so the first one we're going to do is crown, clown, and tree. Repeat. Is crown, clown, and tree. Which one of those do not rhyme? Tree, clown, and crown rhyme. So tree is that one that needs to get out of that group. Great job. Okay, you ready for the next one? Car, rose, hose. Repeat. Car, rose, hose. Which one of those does not belong in that group? Car does not belong. Rose and hose have a different sound at the beginning and the same sound the rest of the way through. Car does not. So that one's the missing, or the one that needs to go out. Okay, are you ready for another one? Talk, walk, and house. Repeat those. Talk, walk, and house. Which one of those doesn't go? House, great. Talk and walk have the same sound at the beginning, and a different sound at the beginning and the same sound all the way through. So those 2 rhyme, so house needs to go. Okay, are you ready for the last one? Okay, the last one is watch, sing, and ring. Repeat. Which one of those does not rhyme? Watch, sing, and ring end with that ing sound that we talked about just the last time we met, doesn't it? So watch is the one that doesn't belong. All right, you guys did great. That activity is a little hard, so I am so proud of you for trying and doing so well. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute because we're about to work with our blue mat and our letters. Don't get these out yet. So just get your mat in front of you and put your bag of letters there while I show you mine. Okay, as always, we're going to review our alphabet at the top of the map. And I want you to say it with me. Ready? My beforehand is my left hand. My afterhand is my right hand. A is the first letter. Z is the last letter. M and N are my middle letters. Great. I'm going to put my beforehand where? On my A. And I'm going to put my afterhand on my N. What are we going to do now? Touch each letter and say the name. When you get to the N, what do? We tag our afterhand. Are you ready? All right, let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, tag. N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Whew, okay, how many letters did we just say? 26 letters. There are 26 letters. And how many kinds of letters do we have? We have two kinds. We have vowels and consonants. What are my vowels? A, E, I, O, and U. Great job. Okay, now open your bag of letters and gently pour them out. And remember, we have the rough side and the smooth side. I want you to make sure you can see the smooth side on all of your letters. Okay, so what are we going to place first? We're going to find our first letter, which is A. We're going to find our last letter, which is Z. And then what letters are we going to find? Our M and an N, which are the middle letters. Great. Okay, what are these letters called? Our anchor letters. Remember, they hold everything down. Now, we're going to we're not going to do this together. I'm going to give you some time to do it on your own. But you're going to find every letter in order, name it, and place it. So you can't just find it and put it there. You have to tell me what it is. B, C, and you're going to go through the whole alphabet. Remember, beforehand until you get to the M, and then use your afterhand when you get to the N. If you need to, sit on your afterhand until you're ready for it, and then sit on your beforehand when you're done with it. Swap out your hands, okay? All right, I'm gonna place mine while you place yours, but I'm not gonna say my letters, but I want you saying yours. It's always hard for Miss Jessica to use her afterhand or her beforehand, because I use my afterhand to write. But if I can do it, you can too. Okay, I'm going to give you about another 30 seconds to finish that up. Okay, so you remember the other day when we introduced accenting letters and we moved some of our letters up and some of them down, and we said them loud and we whispered them? We are going to do that again today, but we're going to do something just slightly different with it. We are going to stand up and sit down. So we're going to get a little bit of exercise in. I know, you just want to sit there, but Miss Jessica needs to move a little bit, so you get to move with me. Are you ready? So when we say our letters loud, so we're going to start with the A, and the A is going to be loud. We move it up, and we say it with an outside voice, but we're also going to stand up when we say it. And then when we say the B, we're going to say it with a whisper voice and sit down, okay? So are you ready? You got to be ready to stand up and sit down. If you're on the floor, this might be a little harder. You might just want to squat. If you're on a chair, you can do it. Are you ready? All right, let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. See, you even landed sitting down. Okay, remember, does anybody remember what that's called when we do one thing louder than another in a word? It's called an accent. Good job. Okay, go ahead and take your letters and put them back in your bag so we don't lose any of them. Okay, now, while you finish that up, I'm going to get our cards ready. We are going to learn some new sounds today, okay? I think there's 2 digraphs, and a digraph is how many letters together? 2 letters together that make one sound. So we're going to learn a couple of digraphs and a couple new sounds, and then we'll review them here in a minute, okay? Are you ready? So, this is the digraph CK. What is this a picture of? A truck. And the sound is K, just like our K and our C by themselves. You see how this line is crossed out? That says that that's a silent sound. So we don't say truck or back. We say back or truck with only one sound. So that's why the sound for the C is crossed out there. So when we see this card, we're going to say digraph CK, truck, repeat. Great. Okay, our next one is just a letter, E, and this is an elephant. That's one of my favorite animals. And the sound is eh. So repeat. Great. The next one's another digraph. This is digraph 00, and this is a picture of a book. And the sound is ooh, book, or said it wrong the first time. Okay, so digraph 00, book, ready? Good job. That one's kind of hard. This is a bee. So in the picture is a bat. And just like our other sounds that we are short, this one's short too. It's b, not b. It's b. Oh, repeat that one. Great. Okay. I'm going to let you say them. No, I'm going to say them and let you repeat them one more time. Are you ready? Digraph CK, truck. Great. E, elephant, eh. Digraph 00, book, oh. B, bat, b. All right, we're going to go over these, and I'm going to let you say them, and I'm going to repeat them. Digraph CK, truck, k. E, elephant, eh. Digraph 00, book, oh. B, bat, b. Okay, we are not going to add those in today, but we are going to review our other ones before we move to our sight words. Are you ready? Great. Digraph NG, king, good job. Good. If this is the D, dog, D. G. You're getting really good at doing those short sounds. Okay, now I need to mix those up because I've had them in the same order for the last couple of times. And I'm going to mix today's in there with them so we have those in there for next time. Okay, I'm going to review one more thing and then we're going to do new sight words. Do you remember this card from last lesson? Yeah. So this is suffix ing happening now. Repeat. Great job. All right, are you ready for your new sight words? And remember, sight words are just words we have to know because we can't sound them out to spell them or read them. So we just have to know what they are when we look at them. That's why they're called sight words. We have to know them by sight. Okay, so we have 4 new ones today, and then we're going to mix them in with the deck. Are you ready? Gone, goes, there. Now this is like the Like that's their lunch. That's their classroom. This is what that there is spelled like this. It's a lot of THs. Put. Great job. We're going to do those just one more time. Gone. Goes. There. And put. Great. All right. You ready to review all of your words? I think you can do it. We're up to what? I want to say 24 now, 25, something like that. Okay, ready? I'm gonna hide that first one. Have. This. Of. Does. Were. I missed one. Great job. Okay, I'm gonna get those all mixed up for next time. And oh my goodness, we are already at our reading practice, so we get to go to our books. So go ahead and grab your book and your pencil. And in your book, you're going to turn to page 31. Has lesson 6 at the top and a picture of a classroom at the bottom or a museum. No? Looks like a presentation of some sort. I'm not sure what room it's in, but it has an American flag and some people in there. Some sitting, some standing. Okay, as always, get your pointer finger ready to follow along as we read. I get to be the teacher first, and then you get to be the teacher, and then you get to read them on your own, okay? So let's look at that first line, and our first word is book. Good job. Looking, nook, hook, crook, and took. You notice it has that double O sound in there? Yeah, that digraph OO in a lot of those words, or all of those words. All right, you get to be the teacher now. And your first word on that second line is bed, sled, red, Fred, click, stick. Great, you guys are getting so good. Okay, now read that last one. Do you have to read it at the same time with your friends? No. Can you read it in your head? No. We want to read it out loud, but if you don't have to worry about what your friend is saying because you don't have to read the same words at the same time. Okay? All right, go ahead and practice that last line. Okay, are you ready to hear it? Everybody pay attention up here. Okay, our last line is rocking, block, bless, tricking, brick, and fled. Great. Okay. Sentences. Who gets to be the teacher first? I do. Who gets to be the teacher next? You do. And then we're all going to read the last one together. All right. The sentences are getting longer, so you're gonna have to pay attention and remember, follow along with that finger, okay? Brad and Tim were tracking the man to the camp. Great. Okay, now you get to be the teacher, and I want you to hear that. I want you to read that sentence loud and proud. Mark the ones that you don't know. Some of the logs on the step fell off on Bill's foot. Great. All right, now we're going to read that last one together. Make sure you stay with me and make sure you use that finger, okay? Does Ted have some plants to plant in the back bed? I read that a little fast, didn't I? We'll read it one more time and I'll slow it down. Ready? Does Ted have some plants to plant in the back bed? That was a little better. What does that sentence end with? A question mark. Great job. So remember, we kind of have to have that question in our voice. Okay, I'm going to let you read that last part, the paragraph at the bottom, out loud like we have been, but don't worry about where your neighbor is. You just worry about you doing it. Are you ready? Make sure you mark. Make sure you use your finger. Okay, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me. Great job. Okay, I'm going to read that so you can see what words you were still struggling with. Okay? Ted is stacking the locks. The locks are sitting on his desk. The flags are hanging in glass. Some flags have locks. Ted is lifting one flag. It is split. Ted is slipping the split flag into glass. He locks the glass. How'd you do? I'm sure you did great. We are still practicing and learning. So practice makes progress, and progress will lead to you knowing it, not perfection. We don't like that perfection word in my house, in my class. All right. So go ahead and turn your story or your book to page 33. It has a picture of a man at the top. And yes, I'm reading the story to you again today, okay? There's some names in here that are a little hard too, so let me give you a reading trick for when you're in school and you're taking a test, especially that state test at the end of the year. If there's a name in there that you don't know how to say, make up a different name for them. Or just skip it. Or my favorite thing is just to call them by their first letter. So this guy's name, the character in our story, his name is Joaquin Murrieta. I would just say JM, because if I'm in first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, I probably don't know both of those names. So I would just say JM, because And his name isn't super important to the story because every time you see his name, you can just replace it with a J or JM and everything else will still make sense, okay? So don't let those names get you frustrated. All right, are you ready? Joaquin Murrieta and his wife Rosita lived with his older brother Carlos in California. They were Mexican immigrants living on a small farm. They also worked a gold claim. And remember we talked about earlier, immigrants are people who come to a country to live there. So let's pause for a minute. What country did they come from? Not California. Mexico. They came from Mexico. How do we know they came from Mexico? Yeah, it tells us in that second sentence, they were Mexican immigrants. So if they're Mexican, they had to come from Mexico. Okay, we're gonna go back to our story. So second paragraph, get your finger back there. Some other miners tried to run them off. The miners said that Mexicans could not work the gold mines. When Joaquin refused to leave, the miners burned Joaquin's house. Joaquin became a famous outlaw. He robbed the miners of their gold and gave it to the poor. Okay, we're gonna pause. What do you think about what he did? Was it good, bad? What do you think? I know there are some good thoughts out there. Okay, we're gonna go back to the story, last sentence, or last couple of sentences, last paragraph. The governor of California sent rangers to hunt down Joaquin. The story of this hero is told today. Now, did the governor do the right thing? And if he did, who did he do the right thing for? All right. Okay. Miss Jessica forgot to read our questions at the beginning, but you know what? Is that okay? It is okay because they're still there and we can go back and look at them. Okay. So number one, why did the miners try to run Joaquin off his land? Do we want to go ahead and answer them as we go today? I think we will. Letter A, they wanted his house. Letter B, they didn't want Mexicans living in California. Or letter C, they wanted his mine. It's letter C. Now, how do we know that? Yeah, it tells us in that second paragraph, right here is where it starts about halfway in that first line. It says the miners said that Mexicans could not work the gold mines. So they said, you can't work these gold mines, we want it. So make sure you underline that. And what number do you put next to it? A 1. Great job. Okay, number 2. Why would the governor of California send rangers after Joaquin? A, Joaquin was breaking the law. B, the miners were breaking the law. Or C, there was a reward for Joaquin. The miners did break the law, but that's not why the governor went after Joaquin. What did Joaquin do? He robbed the miners. Yeah. Is that against the law? Or was he acting with good choices? Yeah, not good choices. It was against the law. So the answer is A, Joaquin was breaking the law. And we know that because it talks right here in this paragraph about him becoming an outlaw right here. And then after that, it says he robbed the miners of their gold. No matter how good of intentions you have, you can't rob people, even if you're trying to give it to people who need it more, which is what he did. But it's still against the law and he can still get in trouble for it. Okay, now number 3. Why did Joaquin become an outlaw? A, he wanted a lot of money. B, the miners forced him off his land. Or C, he thought it would be exciting. B, the miners forced him off his land. We know that just because we know he didn't want a lot of money, and we know he didn't think it would be exciting. The story didn't tell us either one of those things. The only thing the story told us was the miner forced him off his land. This is not necessarily a question I agree with as a teacher or an answer. I don't think the question's a very good one, but sometimes we have to deal with not very good questions and we just have to figure out what to put that would be correct based on the story that we know. That's the other thing. You never, ever, 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 when it comes to multiple choice, think about things that you learned in class or if you experienced something in your life, because the story isn't talking about that. So where does it tell us in the story that the miners forced him off his land? Yeah, in that second paragraph again, huh? So some miners tried to run them off, and then when he refused to leave, they burned down Joaquin's house. I know that story was a little different than what we've read before, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you guys did such a great job today. We learned about a couple more digraphs, the digraph CK and the digraph OO, and we got to do some new things with rhyming today, and we even got some exercise in with our alphabet, our up and down, stand and sit, stand and sit. And then we got to read the story about an outlaw and a bandit and a family of immigrants from Mexico. So you guys did a great job today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. For now, we are done, and I will see you later. Bye.